As the blindingly bright light slowly faded, what appeared before the three Moira sisters caused them to stare in awe. That place was no longer the Callistus he had once been, but it was the same medium as the high god who had already made a sound. He sat cross-legged on a beautiful lotus petal. A glorious ray of light covered his entire body. Surrounding there are various auspicious animals, such as elephants and horses, including all the pure disciples sitting around with joyful expressions on their faces. In the sky, there were stars that twinkled like dust. Moira all stood up with expressions of shock and surprise on their faces. Even Atropos had to take a step back in confusion. She accidentally let the sharp golden scissors fall to the ground. How is this possible? Atropos shook his head with a horrified expression. Or that. Lachesis looked at the tall figure of the enlightened Callistus with a smile of satisfaction and admiration. She turned to speak to Colto. Have you seen this all along? This profoundly, thus setting the path for such a difficult life's destiny. Colto nodded his head, nurturing a dignified smile. This is the highest level of enlightenment. A collection of philosophies from every aspect and life. What Callistus has achieved is final. I'm starting to get scared. Atropos whispered tremblingly. Her hands trembled and her face turned pale. Wide eyes looked at the tall figure with deep fear. Great spiritual power began to radiate from Callistus' body. The breeze gently blew his fine hair up, and at that time he spoke with a loud voice. I have learned the truth of everything. The three Moiras had to step away from the power of that lofty figure. They felt an irresistible power. Colto and Lachesis bowed respectfully. As for Atropos, his face turned pale, trembling with fear. Don't look at me in surprise, because the great truth is every life that is born must be tested by some form of suffering and pain. And following in the footsteps of this sacred path before encountering the true truth. He raised his hand, and in a moment a gleaming ancient scroll appeared in his palm. The book gradually disappeared. It opened with a glistening light. This is the truth of the universe that all things must follow. Whether it's a god or a demon, human or animal, all of our lives have to revolve around a long cycle of rebirth. Until you can abandon your desires and attain the highest Dhamma to escape from all cycles of suffering.